Hi, it's Richard from the Homeschool Freedom Club, and I'm doing another in the series of How I Earn and Home Educate. And today I've got Tracy Ralph with me. So, welcome, Tracy. It's lovely to see you, and it's really nice to put a face to you finally because we sort of toed and froed on Messenger a lot over sort of the last year or two, really.
Yeah.
So, just tell us a little bit about yourself. Sort of how what's your situation at home? How many kids have you got? How old are they? That sort of thing.
The oldest is 29. The youngest
Right?
is 12.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've got a grandson. There's five altogether.
Wow.
But yeah, three at home,
Yeah.
two moved out, the oldest girls, yeah.
Yeah. Oh wow, five.
Yeah.
That's a good number.
It's a good number, yeah.
Yeah, I stuck at three. That was enough for me. But
Mhm.
yeah. So and the youngest are at home, and like are you sort of on your own, or are you
Yeah, yeah, single. Yeah.
so single mum? So okay. So and do you home educate your kids?
The youngest, yeah,
Yeah.
youngest, and that was accidental. But
Yeah.
obviously, knowing what I know now, I would have had them all at home.
Yeah.
It,
Yeah.
if I understood it was a possibility, which they don't let you know, do they? They think you
Yeah.
think you've got to register your children
Yeah.
at school, but I'd have had them all at home if I knew what I knew now, because it's amazing. Homeschool, it's amazing.
I mean, it really is, isn't it? And so, and you're right. I mean, so many people think that the default is the kids go to school, and actually, the default isn't that at all. If you don't register your child for school,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
it. They're
yeah,
out of that system, and it's not until you put them in that you've got problems, really, is it?
yeah.
So yeah. So what led you to home? Because you said it kind of happened by accident. What led you to home ed your youngest then?
Well, she was at a really, really nice nurturing nursery, and
Yeah.
she's been diagnosed now with autism, which I knew from the start anyway.
Right.
Um, So she come from this lovely nurturing nursery where there was person centred, child centred,
Yeah.
all about the child, and then she's gone into school.
Yeah.
First year she was all right because she had a brand new teacher straight out of uni she was like for the kids.
Yeah.
Second, it really hit her. It hit her that she's got to sit at a desk and she's got to do this and she's got to do this and she can't do this,
Yeah.
and it affected her mental health so much.
Wow.
She changed. It changed my daughter. In 18 months, my daughter changed from this lovely, kind, caring girl to
Yeah.
attacking me. She started attacking me.
Wow.
So I pulled her out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That wow. That I mean that I haven't talk a lot. I don't. I'm not coming down on teachers here, but the whole school system's just wrong, isn't it? I mean, the way it's set
Mm,
up and
yeah.
it's, I mean, it's designed to do the job, and it does its job. It's designed to do very well, but it's not
Yeah,
there
yeah.
for children. It's there to mould them into something else.
Exactly that. Yeah, yeah. I mean,
And,
she's
and
great now. She's amazing. She's brilliant. She's just
yeah,
back how she was. She's brilliant. So I made the right decision.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
no, absolutely. I mean, we pulled. Well, my youngest, he's only been in school for 2 terms, and then COVID happened, and we pulled him out, and that was like the best decision we'd ever made, honestly.
Yeah, yeah.
Never look back, and our youngest has never even been to like a kindergarten. It just,
No,
it's
you don't understand until you've pulled them out. That COVID's hit a lot of parents because a
yeah,
lot of parents didn't send the kids back.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
No, it really did. It made a lot of people, I think, take a long, hard look at
yeah, yeah.
what was actually going on in the world, but b how just the impact when you were seeing all the stupid rules coming back from schools about bubbles and masking and all the rest
Yeah,
of it, and you just sat there thinking this isn't right, and that's when you start thinking about, well, what else are they actually making our kids do
mm,
that isn't for them, isn't in their best interests.
exactly. Yeah, it backfired. That COVID thing, it backfired on the government badly.
It did, yeah, and I
Mm.
think, I mean, there's a huge number of people who have sort of permanently moved into home education, and so you took your child out of school, and how did you tackle home ed to start with then? I mean, because for us it was, we started getting the work. It started off obviously trying to do it because the school was sending us stuff home, and after about
Yeah,
literally
yeah,
a day, we were like, not doing this. We just put
exactly.
it
Yeah,
all to one side,
exactly.
and we just decided on like an unschooling approach
Yeah,
because the kids were young, and we thought, well, okay, if it doesn't work out, then we've got then that's always sort of in the back of your mind, isn't it? I think when you start, it's like, oh, if it doesn't work out, then what are we going to do, and how are we going to
yeah,
fix it, and we figured, well, we still got time to like put him back into school if it
That's
doesn't go
it. Yeah,
right.
yeah.
And the really sort of the realization that we came to anyway was that you can't do it wrong almost.
No, no. Yeah, I mean, I started I got all the workbooks and I was prepared with the workbooks
Yeah,
and the craft supplies, and then slowly you think, well, they say I'm just recreating school.
yeah,
So,
yeah,
and that's not what we wanted. So we pretty much child led.
yeah,
If Annie wants to learn something, we'll go with that until she don't want to learn it anymore, or we'll get more, resources to get her more into it. Yeah,
yeah.
we Annie leads the way.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think, and it really is the way forwards. I mean,
Yeah,
that's the way it works with ours as well. They decide what they're interested in, and we don't teach. We just facilitate.
that's it.
And just find
Yeah,
them resources. Just help guide them if they're getting a bit stuck or whatever.
that's
But
it.
you're not there to say
Yeah,
you must do this and you must do that.
yeah,
And that I think because again, I think so many people think people think about recreating school at home. And for some kids, that obviously that
it
works
works.
and they like that, and also some kids don't want to be taught by their parents.
Exactly that. Yeah,
Is the other thing,
yeah,
because a teacher's a separate thing. Your parents are your parents, and they
yeah,
don't want you in both roles, sort of almost. And that's why I think the child-led approach works really, really well because they're making their own decisions. You're not telling them what to do. You're
yeah.
just simply helping them along and
That's
sort of
it.
helping them overcome any roadblocks or whatever.
Yeah,
But then they make the decisions, and yeah, but it takes up so. I think that approach takes up so much less of your time. If you're trying to really create
exactly.
a school at home, you're constantly like having to look after over the shoulders. Have you done this? Have you done that? Da, 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 da.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
and they pick up everything in their own time, don't they? It's just it
yeah,
goes in, but it's at their pace, and so they learn so much better. I think
yeah.
because of that, what they're
Because
learning
it's
stays
natural.
with them.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, how have you found that? Have you found that that's the way it's worked for you as well?
100%. I've tried the other ways, like lessons. We've got to do geography. We've got to do history.
Yeah,
That was in the beginning. Now
yeah,
she doesn't like geography. She knows a lot about the world, but she doesn't want to
yeah,
sit and learn about geography. But her knowledge of the world's amazing. The
yeah,
facts, but it's like you said, it's child learned. She's learned it all herself.
yeah,
I ain't pushed back, and she's such a bright little girl.
yeah.
Yeah,
And you I think you find that just the kids they keep that love of learning and they keep that
yeah,
curiosity, which school
yeah.
kind of beats out of them after a while. I mean, I've always loved learning, but at school I hated school. I didn't
I
want
mean,
to be there.
yeah,
And I mean, I've got an older daughter. She was 21 yesterday actually, and she's at university now. She went all through the school system, so
yeah,
I've seen like both, like you have. I've seen both
yeah.
sides of it, and I think you do have a different relationship with the kids that are at home. Actually, it's maybe slightly deeper on some levels. It's just
And
different,
yeah,
and they really I don't know. There's just I think there's a bigger element of trust there maybe,
yeah.
and things like that. And it's really magical. And what do you enjoy most about the home ed side of things?
Just being with her,
Yeah,
watching her grow, and I've got her there to watch her grow.
yeah,
I ain't just putting her at the end of the day when she's tired and teasy. I've got her through everything from morning to night. That's the bit I love.
yeah, yeah.
I was always one of them parents that couldn't wait for the 6 weeks holiday.
Really,
That
yeah,
that was that was my Christmas. I couldn't wait to have my kids with me for them 6 weeks.
yeah,
So, like I said, if I knew what I knew now, they'd have all stayed at home with me.
yeah. But I mean, you said your oldest is 29. I mean, like 30 years ago, just
Yeah.
but
No.
people. I know people were doing it, but
Yeah.
it was like a real fringe minority, wasn't it? I think
Yeah.
then,
Very. Very.
and it just wasn't. And of course, the internet wasn't what it is now, so you couldn't even go and like research it or whatever. And
Yeah.
it's just, yeah. I mean, if it had known what I know now, my oldest wouldn't have gone through school either. It's it is what it is though, isn't it? You know what you know. You don't know what you don't
That's it.
know, and you do your best
Gotta
with what
change
you
it.
got. So.
Yeah.
Did the other kids get like jealous about the homeschool aspect, or are they happy doing what they're doing?
Uh,
And
Now they're all older now. I mean, the next one's 17, so
okay,
he is at college, but he's autistic as well. So, but he enjoys it. He loves it. It's the
yeah,
place for him. He loves it.
yeah,
The others, they was all, oh, why are you taking her out to school? You made us go to school. She
yeah,
needs school. I was like, no, she don't need school.
yeah,
Now they're all cool with it now. They can see it's the right thing for Annie. Oh,
yeah, yeah.
yeah,
No, that's wonderful as well that you got that sort of support from them
Yeah,
now as well, and it's good that they're sort of asking as well. I guess it's nice they've shown that concern about their little sister as well. So,
yeah. I mean, I keep on to my daughter. I let me homeschool my grandson. She's like, no, no, he's got to go to school. I'm like, please let me have him. She's like, no,
how old is he, your grandson?
just gone 7.
Oh wow, okay, yeah,
Yeah. So, but no, she's like, he's got to be in school.
yeah.
Yeah.
Uh, maybe at some point she'll come to that conclusion, or
Hopefully.
especially when she sees Annie and over a few more years, and there's so. I was talking to somebody the other day, and we were talking about like mental health and schools. It was the interview I put up with Lexi Jarvis actually, and the kids when they get to sort of like the teens and tweens sort of type age,
Mm.
when all the hormones are kicking in, and then they go off to high school, which is like a big challenge, and it's a different kettle of fish from like primary
Yeah.
or middle school. And so many more opportunities for things to go wrong, quite
Yeah.
honestly.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's just a really stressful time. I remember my high school days. I just I was lost there most of the time, and it's just home ed takes those pressures, completely removes them, doesn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
You haven't got to worry about sort of like peer group. You haven't got the
Exactly
bullying
that.
issues. You haven't got all these sorts of things, and you know that your kids doing what they enjoy doing as well. So it's they're not sat in lessons that they're hating, um,
Exactly. Yeah.
sort of bored out their skulls.
Yeah. The mental health it's gone through the roof with teenagers.
Yeah,
But yeah, it's just so much pressure on them.
yeah, it is. Again,
Yeah.
COVID really added to that.
Yeah.
I mean, where I used to live in the UK, there was one young lass there. She was 13, and she just got it into her head that everything was covered in bacteria, that she was going to die, that if she touched anything, she wouldn't touch her
Yeah.
parents. She would like sit in the bathroom screaming and just scrubbing herself incessantly, and just what it did to kids was just
It was
horrific.
disgusting.
It
It,
was completely.
yeah.
And the kids have got enough pressures without that nonsense going
Exactly.
on as
Yeah.
well.
But
It's
they've
just,
put the fear into them now. They've got the fear now.
they have, well, some haven't.
Right.
So you're at home. You're a single mum. You're at home, obviously home educating. So how do you sort of make that work around the money situation? What do you do?
Well, I was already doing what I do now,
Uh huh.
but with somebody else. We was like working in a partnership while Annie was at school.
Yeah.
That messed up. He kind of ripped me off, so that
Right.
ended.
Yeah.
But at the same time, then that's when I took Annie out of school, and so I had to rethink. I thought, what am I going to do?
Yeah.
So I just carried on doing it myself,
So what is it
and
that you do?
I just natural health products,
Uh huh.
health, beauty, creams. I do the colloidal silver, if you know what that is. A lot of people
Yeah. Yeah.
don't. Yeah, soaps, all sorts. You ask me to make something, I'll go away, research it, and I'll make it.
Well, so you make these all yourself from scratch?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Oh wow! What sort of at home in the kitchen, or have you got like a
yeah,
shop
yeah.
or something?
Yeah.
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 Oh
It's how
wow,
I
that's
stay
pretty cool.
started.
Yeah, and that's the you call it. It's called Annie and Jack, isn't it? I think.
Yeah,
So,
yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh God, that's amazing.
yeah,
So, so that was what you were into previously. You were running a business sort of around natural health before that.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, okay. And what other products have you got in there? You said about the colloidal silver and
I've got face creams. I do bath salts. Oh, wrinkle rollers. Ask Kirsten. What did she call it? Wrinkle shrinker. That's what she calls it. Look, supplements, your magnesiums, your detoxes.
yeah,
There's so much. I do so much. Toothpaste,
yeah.
mouthwashes. Yeah.
God, that's well, it's so needed now as well. I mean, we all know that so much of we're not getting the nutrition we need out of our food, so
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
kind of where it's at. But also the poisons that are in toothpaste, fluoride, and all the rest of it
Everything.
that's in there, and
Yeah.
just like aluminium in deodorants, and it's just it's horrendous what's been done to us as
It
a
is. Yeah. People
species.
don't understand what's in their products. They need to
Yeah,
start looking what's in their products.
I mean, I saw a statistic that I mean it's from the States, but they reckon that 92% of Americans don't have proper nutrition. They're lacking in
Yeah,
what
yeah.
it needs. Like 92%. I mean,
I
it's
could
just
say that.
incredible
Yeah,
because they're
I'd,
not.
I'd say that's across the world,
Yeah,
unless I don't know. Some countries are still very basic,
yeah,
where they just there's no fast foods, there's no processed foods.
yeah,
They still eat the old way, and you'll find that's the country with the less disease.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. No GMO. None of that rubbish.
Mm,
And yeah, because of course all the food now it's just been robbed of its nutritional value,
yeah,
hasn't it? Completely.
yeah.
It's yeah. So I mean, when because you've been to natural health for a long time. For me, it's a relatively it all came kind of with the whole COVID thing. So
Yeah,
what
yeah, a lot of
kind of
it.
woke you up to that and sort of thinking, gosh, we need to do more, and what got you into the natural health business?
I've always been into health. Since like when I was at school, I wanted to be a nutritionist.
Okay.
Yeah, but that kind of went by the by. But it's always stuck with me. I've always been aware of what's in food. I've
Yeah.
been I've been aware unknowingly of what's going around because I
Yeah.
was always, folks said I was a rebel. I were a rebel. I just wouldn't take your answer. I'd go away and think about it, and if I thought you was wrong, I'd tell you I was wrong.
Yeah.
That's since I've been a little girl. So it's always been in me, and the natural health thing. I don't know. I wanted to move away from all the nasty stuff because of my kids. That's where it started,
Yeah. Yeah.
and then you just start looking into what's in that, and that it was a natural thing. It just happened.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Kids are a huge driver for that kind of thing, aren't they? Though, we all
yeah,
want the best for our kids, and we all want to sort of do the best by them, and it's that can, like for you, it's sort of taking you on a real sort of journey then.
yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely. Is that Annie? She's been bug hunting in the garden.
No, she wants to come say hello. She can come say hello. That's fine.
Oh, sorry. She's okay. Sorry, Annie. She's got her microscope out.
Oh, lovely. And again, this is what I love about the home ed stuff.
Yeah,
We do things that all right, sort of at some point they're probably going to do biology or whatever at school, and they'll get the microscopes out. But yeah, you have all that kit at home. They can just go out and I mean, my son, he was like looking. We've got a little microscope as well, and he was like looking at the layers, sort of onion layers and things like that,
yeah,
and
yeah.
skins and
They're
all this sort of thing.
fantastic. They're
Yeah,
little microscopes. Yeah,
yeah,
we
yeah.
got an elephant walk moth outside. So,
Oh wow.
oh, she's looking at it. It must have
Yeah.
popped out yesterday, so she's looking after it.
Oh wow. And again, just all these opportunities that come up at home, and I
Yeah,
think people think, oh God, what do I know to teach my child? Who am I to teach my child? And it's like, but you're the parent. Nobody knows them
yeah,
better. And
exactly.
and again, I always like to make the point, you don't have to teach them.
They teach you.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
That's exactly it.
yeah,
Yeah. No, they are. They really are our biggest teachers. I mean, I've learned such a lot,
yeah.
especially in the last sort of, we're doing it 4 years now.
Mm,
Since we've been doing it, and it's just been, it's a real journey, and it's quite a privilege to get to do it as well, honestly.
yeah, yeah.
And
I do understand it is a privilege, and there's some people they're not able to do it.
yeah,
They can't do it. They ain't got the resources to do it. They've got to go to work. They've got to pay the mortgage. I totally understand that.
yeah,
Yeah, but this is you got to try and find a way. If you
yeah.
really want it to happen, it'll happen, and you'll do it.
Yeah, I mean, well, that's why I set this group up was to try and help people find, connect with ways of making an income and
Yeah,
to encourage entrepreneurship or just get people thinking differently
that's
about
it.
what
Yeah,
work can be as well. Because it's not
yeah,
only the education can be different, work can be different. We don't all
that's
have
it.
to
Yeah,
sort of hop on a
yeah,
bus
it's
or
a
a train in the
lifestyle.
morning. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. There's just a huge opportunities out there now for people to do whatever they want,
yeah,
and but it's just the matter. It's I think it's like that scary step of stepping into home ed, going into business for yourself is also can be
exactly.
quite.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, what did you have any doubts when you went into business first up, or were you just sort of full steam ahead and
No, I doubt myself. That I doubt myself.
yeah,
I had no doubts that I could do the business, but yeah, but everything's cool. Yeah,
yeah?
yeah.
I mean, would you go back to being employed?
Never, never, ever. Why would I give 30% of my wages away to somebody who's
Yeah,
not doing anything for them?
yeah,
I would
absolutely. No, I completely agree.
never.
And that's the thing, isn't it? It's like the home ed. Once you've started to home ed, unless your kids specifically want to go back to school. I mean, I there's no way they're ever going back to school, and it's the same for me. I've been
Yeah.
self-employed for nearly 20 years in one form or another. I could not go back to working for someone. Just
No.
no way.
No.
And it just, I think it's all part of a similar mindset. I think as
Yeah.
well. You know,
Yeah.
it all comes together. I think if you can home ed, you can definitely be an entrepreneur.
Exactly.
And if you're an
You,
entrepreneur, you can definitely home ed. It's just that it's all about taking responsibility at the end of the day. You're taking
yeah.
responsibility for your kids' education, you're taking responsibility for your income, and not just relying on someone else to sort of supply it for you.
Exactly. Govern yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. And it follows through everything. It follows through your health
Yeah.
and staying away from, pharmaceuticals where you can, and staying away from the government where you can.
Yeah.
They do
God
their best to
blame.
sort of keep bringing you back in, but it's but yeah, when you see the agendas at schools now, I just don't. I have no
Oh, terrible.
at all.
Terrible what they're
So
pushing.
yeah.
Yeah.
So can you we'll sort of wrap it up a bit here. I mean, if you can sort of give us some links and bits and pieces, then what we'll do, we'll drop them into the chat when I post this,
Yeah. Yeah.
we'll sort of see if we can get a few people talking about Annie and Jack and come to you for their natural health products.
I'm okay. Thank you.
All right, Tracy, lovely talking to you.
You too.
Take care.
And
Bye
you.
bye.
Bye.